Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Got another deck profile for you today. This time it's on my Oddish deck, which now runs at 40 cards rather than the 60 cards I had it, which was still good, don't get me wrong, I love the 60 card variant. But I decided to bump it down to 40 now that, cards like Firewall Dragon's banned. There are new ways to turbo out with Saryuja Skull Dread. I can still consistently bring out Supreme King Zark. So, yeah. But he's not my primary boss monster, of course. I got other boss monsters to work with, and Zark is just kind of like there for insurance. Anyway, let's go and get started, and I'll show you what I got. Starting off, of course, you're going to be playing 3 Oddish Arc Pendulum Dragon. It's a normal monster. You definitely want him on your Pendulum skill, though, to activate his effect. Whenever an Oddish monster is destroyed, you can do special summon an Oddish monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. And you got a lot of ways to do that. You could do it to yourself, too, so that's also good. Got Oddish Pendulum Dragon, which deals double damage in battle. And also, if it's in your Pendulum skill, at the end of the turn, you can pop itself, search out another Oddish card. And it synergizes really well with Arc Pendulum if he's in your Pendulum skill. Got Oddish Phantom Dragon, which can deal burn damage after battle, so really great card. 2 copies of Oddish Persona Dragon. It's a negator while it's on the main monster zone, and also, but it only works on extra deck monsters, so but still a good card. It can negate the effects. The only non-pendulum monster I'm playing is Oddish Lancer Dragon. Your opponent can't activate spells or traps whenever this card attacks. And also it can protect itself, so yeah. 1 Oddish Synchron, you definitely need a tuner for some of your synchro plays. Oddish Dissolver, which special summons itself to prevent an Oddish, or a pendulum card in general, from being destroyed in battle once. And also you can fusion summon during the main phases using this card, so it counts as both polymerization and fusion material too, so great card. And that's pretty much it for the main Oddish core. Let's move on to the side core. You're going to play the Supreme King package of 3 Dark Worm, 1 Gate 0, and 1 Gate Infinity. Reason being, because these two, if they're both set in your Pendulum skills, you can pop them both, search out any fusion card from your deck, so it's a great card. It's a great combo. And Supreme King Dark Worms just summons itself for free if it's in your graveyard, as long as you control no monsters. Moving on. Got Chronograph Sorcerer, which really synergizes well with this deck. It just basically gets you into Time Gazer Magician just to get into a free Electromite play, which comes to our next card, Electromite. As long as you control no card or no monsters, you can have Chronograph pop itself to special summon Time Gazer. We got 1 Noble Dragon Magician, which has a similar effect as Dark Worm, only you target 1 Oddish monster you control, lower its level by 3, you can special summon this card from either your hand or your graveyard, so it can only be used for synchro material, of course, but still a good card. And I forgot to mention, it can only be used for a synchro summon towards a dragon type monster. But you can also get into some free link plays as well. We got 1 Zenki Magician, negates light monsters, but you just need it just because it's a 25k body, and it's also a level 7. 1 Abyss Actor Curtain Raiser, just 1 because its ability is once per duel. And 1 Magical Abductor, just so, because since this deck primarily runs spells, you generally want to, add spell counters, and then that way you can get a free search off once it has 3 spell counters, so Magical Abductor, definitely a great addition to the deck. Alright, so let's move on. So for the actual spells, we're playing 3 copies of Sky Iris. This protects your Pendulum skills, and also you can target 1 other face-up card you control, destroy it, and if you do, add 1 Oddish card from your deck to your hand, so it knows that it says Oddish card, so you can add Oddish Fusion to your hand as well. We got Spiral Flame Strike, which searches out our level 7 dragons, and if we control an Oddish, you can pop 1 card on your opponent's side of the field. 2 copies of Oddish Fusion, definitely a must since, we do run a few fusion monsters in the deck. 2 copies of Duelist Alliance. I don't like it at 3, it's a little cloggy, considering it's a hard once per turn, but you can search out any card that has Pendulum in its name. 1 Dragon Shrine and 1 Foolish Burial. A similar situation with Blue Eyes. You definitely want to send Oddish Arc Pendulum in order to get that Dark Worm out, just so, you can have an extra Arc Pendulum in your grave, that way you can special summon it later. But yeah, you don't want to open 2 Dragon Shrines because it's a hard once per turn, but with Foolish Burial, it just balances out. 1 Pot of Riches, which recurs your resources from the extra deck. Because unfortunately, I don't have an efficient way to really bring back the Supreme Gate Infinity, but if I wanted to get back in my deck and search it out again, Pot of Riches definitely does that, and plus it's just draw 2 cards, so it's really good. Now this card is crazy good in this deck. Pendulum Paradox. You can add up to 2 face-up pendulum monsters from the extra deck of the same scales, but they have to be different names. So it's a good way to recur your Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon and Odd Eyes Phantom Dragon. That way, you can pendulum summon more from your hand, and that way it doesn't limit your choices on like what to pendulum summon from the extra deck. So it's a good way to like, basically like you can still fill up your board, and that's basically what this deck does, is like fill a board with a bunch of powerful monsters, and basically also boost up your negates, because you got quite a few number of negates in this deck, which I will get to sooner or later, or get to later on. But let's go and move into the extra deck. We got 1 Electromite. Even though it's at 1, it's still a necessary asset for the deck. Just requires 2 pendulum monsters, gets you a +1 whenever you pop a monster or pop a card in your pendulum zone, and also adds 1 pendulum card from your extra deck back to your hand. 1 Wee Witch's Apprentice. It's a dark attribute, and primarily everything in the deck is dark. 1 Zephyr Metaltron. I don't like it too much, but I like it because the fact that it's Eris point down, so it's a good way to, get more monsters off the extra deck. The best card in the whole extra deck is Saryja Skuldra, because this deck turbos out Saryja like fairly easily. Once you get like 4 monsters that have different names, you get to draw 4, and then basically do a pseudo Graceful Charity thing where you send 3 cards to the bottom of your deck. So great card. I love it. 1 Borreload Dragon, and that's pretty much it for the links. Got 1 Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon, just because, it's easy to summon, just requires 2 level 7 monsters. If it's sent to the graveyard, you get to special summon an Odd Eyes from your extra deck, so you can special summon Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon or Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. And usually I always bring it back with the effect of a Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon too, so just so I can like get all the materials I need to make Zark. 1 Norito, which negates spells and traps. For another dragon type, just Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. We got plenty of level 4, so fairly easy to summon. 1 Meteor Burst Dragon. Your opponent cannot activate monster effects whenever this card attacks, I believe. Let's see. Burst. Oh no, it's just during the battle phase. Okay, so your opponent cannot use monster effects. So great card actually. 1 Fa Dawn Dragster. It's another negator. Whenever your opponent activates a spell, trap, or an effect, you can negate it just by lowering this monster's level by 2. 1 Clearwing Synchro Dragon, another negator. Because again, you got lots of negates. Speaking of which, Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon's next on our list, which just shuffles back one of our pendulum cards, so it's another way to recur our resources. Because this deck does grind itself out fairly quickly. 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. 1 Odd Eyes Venom Dragon, which we need the Starving Venom for. And of course, 1 Supreme King Zark. And like I said, it's not hard to get everything out you need. It's just, in fact, Zark is surprisingly easy to make in this deck, as long as you know the combos, and as long as you don't do any misplays. Alright, so for the side, I got 3 copies of Ash, mainly because I don't like to main deck it in this deck. But if I'm going second, it's a good card to use when going second. 3 Called by the Grave as well. Just because, like if you're playing against a deck that runs a lot of hand traps, you definitely want to use Called by the Grave against that. For back row heavy situations, Twin Twisters, as well as Red Reboot, because Ultra guys like to Floodgate, and Floodgates can hurt this deck to basically a lot. The only Floodgate card I can run, actually, which doesn't affect me whatsoever, Mask of Restrict, which is really good against Thunder Dragons, Sky Striker, True Draco, because True Draco is going to see some relevancy now that it's a much viable option again. So yeah, Mask of Restrict can really shut that deck down, and yeah. And True Draco is a really good matchup against Pendulums in general. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll catch you guys again next time.